Sometimes art imitates life. Other times life is inserted into art. And that's exactly what's happened in the new Machine Head song, Is There Anybody Out There? The review of which that we did on this channel a few days ago is now no longer available, based around the new information that's been given to us thanks to ROBB FLYNN and a diary of the making of this song that was posted about 36 hours after the review was. Great timing, I know. Wonderful stuff. So in the review, for those who didn't get the opportunity to see it, the speculation was very simple. The information that we knew at that time was that in October, the song, Is There Anybody Out There, was recorded. And there was a little bit of controversy. There was speculation that perhaps a line that was featured in the second verse was all about Phil Anselmo, based off of the events that occurred this past January, with Phil potentially being a racist. And it's definitely a moment where art could have imitated life, because it could have been a blanket term that just so happened to also apply to Phil whenever this occurred, considering Rob was one that was very, very quick to sort of speak an opinion. However, this was a situation where life actually imitated art, where Rob went in with the band, changed up the verse, and it was basically a glorified call-out to Phil Anselmo right there in the song. So for all of you that assume that from the very beginning, congratulations. You win a cookie, a gold star. You get a great mark on your grade. That A that you have becomes an A++ with a little smiley face and a little bit of glitter on it. Doesn't necessarily make you better than anybody else. You're a seer, you're a clairvoyant. Take with it what you will. Clairvoyant's a pretty good Maiden song, so that's something. Honestly, this kind of just took all of the, the little bit of speculation or the little bit of, maybe fun from the song just right away. It took it away because the song was not all that good to begin with. I mean, just call the song average would kind of be insulting to average. It was slightly below average. It was meant to be a metal anthem that just seemed to fail in just about every department there. It failed to really capture the imagination. It was one that didn't have a lot of resonance with Machine Head's most recent material. It's definitely the sign of a band deciding to evolve again, which is respectable, but it just didn't feel like it had a lot of punch behind it. That, speculation around that line, whether or not it was about Phil, whether or not it was truly art imitating life or not, was one of the things that kept the conversation really going. It kept sort of the hype going. But now that that's now been, removed from everything, now it's just the reality sets in that ROBB FLYNN is kind of still 14 years old. He might be a bigger baby than Fred Durst. It's hard to really tell. That's more of a joke than anything else. And the fact that the song is now just a below average track. And that's it. It's something that doesn't lead to very much promise whenever it comes to the follow-up to Bloodstone and Diamonds. Unfortunately, this is one of those situations where keeping your big mouth shut may have been a better idea. I understand that the truth is valued by many, and Rob is, I'm sure, somebody that wants to reflect that ideal and, be honest and show that he gives no fucks and he has no fear. This is a situation where now that the truth is out, I'm bored. And many people no doubt are as well, and now they're starting to sling together 5-letter words to call Rob, including one that starts with the letter D, which is actually 6 letters now that I think about it, and that being douche. Either way, this is just something that is an unfortunate situation, and by unfortunate I mean not really unfortunate, because he decided to do it. I'm very surprised that something like this was deemed necessary for a song. It was almost like done in anger, sort of like whenever you and your brother get into a fight, and in the heat of the moment, you go to his room and you trash one of his prized possessions because you're mad at him at that moment, only to later discover that what you did was a horrible thing. This is a situation that I don't think is going to really have much of an ending. It's probably not going to have much of a continuance either. If Phil decides that he is going to respond or reply, that's really up to him, and no doubt it'll be something that's handled with just the most grace imaginable. I'm so sure of this. If this ends up becoming a large, problem for the summer months of 2016, if this is the new Kevin Lyman situation where we just get bullshit dribble back and forth, there's only so much of this I'll be willing to talk about. Because this is honestly kind of a silly argument. The whole thing back in January was kind of blown out of proportion, probably from a lot of people having cabin fucking fever. And the fact that it now has to be revisited and reemerge in June, similar to the 17-year cicadas outside my window, is kind of boggles my mind. But what do you guys think about the song? Is there anybody out there, considering I can't ask you that on the track review anymore since it's gone? And what do you think about this situation? What do you think about Rob calling out Phil Anselmo with this track? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Cover Killer Nation, and yes, the Hell Yeah review is coming, as well as Dark Funeral. Just be patient. This little piece of news was too annoying to pass up. I'll talk to you later. Peace.